Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we are doing another account review, this time for Agov, who is on server 497 I believe. He's ranked 30 in terms of season resonance level for his district, and he has a really well built out account. And so we're just going to briefly review the heroes on his account, and then we're going to go right into planning some arena defenses, supreme arena defenses, and then maybe altering the hero wish list and giving some last minute tips on arena shop and priorities for that. Okay, so taking a look at his account, we want to see all of his Dream Realm heroes. His damage dealers OD, Merrily, and Corrin are all well built up. They don't need any more investment. And his tanks for the Dream Realm, Tamesia and Thorin, are both Supreme Plus, which is great. And the supports, major supports used in Dream Realm are Smokey and Coco, which are also both Supreme Plus, and they don't only need Mythic Plus, but Supreme Plus will be better for that. So, and even Floribel he has built up because she can be good in Snowstomper, Dream Realm boss, and even Vala can be good in that, by the way. So both of them are built up. So all of his Dream, and he has of course Rainier at Mythic Plus. He even has a Scarlita who is useful in some Dream Realm end game teams. So he has a really good account. All of Dream Realm is sorted. All of the heroes don't need any more investment for Dream Realm. It will just come down to now focusing on PvP and also deciding on his next Celestial Hypogean hero. So, first of all, I want to give advice on exclusive equipment upgrading to see who needs to get to plus 10. And out of the heroes, he doesn't have a plus 10 yet, which would benefit from it quite a lot. It would be Haywin, Damien, Shakir, Floribel, Sylvina, and Granny. All of those would benefit from it quite a lot. Granny is a really strong PvP hero, so I do like to get her to plus 10, but she's probably the least priority of all of these heroes. But definitely Damien, Haywin, these are key PvP heroes. You might even be running them on your non-seasonal arena defense, or if you're not already, I might change to a defense which is running these. And so I would definitely recommend trying to get them to plus 10 exclusive equipment first, and then maybe getting Shakir to plus 10 after that, because he's really good in Mauler teams for Supreme Arena defense, and Floribel to plus 10 will be good because you already have her invested to Supreme Plus, and Sylvina to plus 10 if you use her a lot in PvP, but she's mainly used on offense. Now, as for the other Celestial Hypogean heroes, now if we take a look at all of the heroes you have at Supreme Plus, you have 3 in the Resonating Hands of Resonance, and then you have 6, 12, 18, 19, so 19 plus 3 is 22. So he's getting really close to getting to 25 Supreme Plus heroes. All he needs is Cassidy, Lucius, and Brutus, and then he will have 25 Supreme Plus and unlock Paragon. Which means because he's so close to unlocking Paragon, it will be a priority to keep heroes on our wish list, which we'll want to get to Paragon, being the key PvP heroes, because Paragon upgrade is mainly only for your key PvP heroes who you want to gain those rivalry stats by upgrading, because the base stats you get from upgrading to Paragon is only 2.5% of all of your base stats, which is hardly anything. So he is working on Freyasto, and I do like that idea, but we will also want to see about potentially getting copies of Scarlita to get her to Paragon 1 when he unlocks Paragon. But I do think going for Freyasto first, getting him to Mythic Plus, will be overall more useful on your account, and that is what you're working on. You just need 3 more copies, and then he will be Mythic Plus, and he will help you in Dream Realm a lot. So I do like that idea. But after those 3 copies of Freyasto, then I would hold on to your Gila coins and your Stellar Crystals. I wouldn't begin going for a Diurnal or Burial yet, because we can wait and see what future Celestial Hypogean hero will come out, and you'll also want to get your Scarlita to Paragon 1 as well, because she is a key PvP hero, and that would help her. Okay, so that is pretty much an overview of the account. Other key heroes you're missing for PvP: Elsa, Elmis, you want to keep them on your wish list and try to get them. Igor you can buy from the arena shop, and he's not such a key hero, but he's pretty good in a Graveborn Strahl team. I don't like Brian that much. I don't mind that you don't have him upgrade. Atlanta and Lumont as well, I don't really think are that worth prioritizing on your account. Reese as well you could put on your wish list if you want to try to get him to Supreme Plus and you value that more than like getting Shakir to Paragon. You could put Reese and Elsa on your wish list, and I think that is probably what we will do. Okay, let's take a look at your arena defense and see if there can be any improvements made. Now, you have all the heroes available to run the arena defense I'm running on my account. and it is using these same heroes, but it's a different formation. And you can test this out and see if this works out well for you, but since I swapped to this formation of this team, I have been getting a lot more wins, and also people have not been able to clear, like my defense who previously were able to clear it, they're just avoiding even attacking me. So this is the defense which I'm running on my account. I realized that Haywin, well, Haywin can't actually be swapped because you're going to have the Enlightening spell on her, so she can't be Rainier swapped. But a hero could be swapped by Rainier to the Haywin. But Haywin is protected by the Soul Pack, protected by Enlightening spell. She's able to immediately cast and get off her energy generation so that she can use her ultimate to protect your team. And it is a Graveborn, a Wilder stall team with 4 Wilders with the Scarlita Celestial. So overall it would be, you're getting a lot of factional synergy from this team as well. Thorin is one of the key heroes in the game. And the good thing about when you're running a team like this, rather than running Thorin more in a frontline position, when he's in the backline, it allows all the enemies to run up to him and kind of group up over here. Then Iron will continue to group them up with his ultimate, and Scarlita will descend onto a grouped up team, and that is her dream combination. Scarlita hates it when, for example, if your Thorin is up here and he runs over here and they have a support hero up here, and for whatever reason Scarlita then decides to descend over here because these are the frontmost heroes, then she doesn't get value because there are only going to be 2 heroes here, whereas there's a group of team more over on this side. So basically that's why Thorin in the back placement is usually better. And Damien, Iron are great for stall. Damien has a lot of healing. He's difficult to remove from the battlefield permanently, and Iron keeps crowd control of the enemies, grouping them up for Scarlita. So this is a team I would recommend. Try running it with this formation. It's the same heroes but a different formation, and this has worked out a lot better for me. So you can let me know. So you're looking for the top 5 of champion, and hopefully you should be able to maintain it with these heroes. But this is also where Paragon upgrades are going to help you, because if you can get Scarlita to Paragon, which is kind of easy, you just need 4 copies of her, then that can help the effectiveness of this PvP team. In Haywin, you can get to Paragon because you can buy her copies in the Arena shop. Damien, you can buy in the Dream Realm shop. So if you're prioritizing these Paragon upgrades before you even unlock Paragon, you're going to be basically almost able to upgrade them by the time you unlock it. And that is the key thing with these heroes. Okay, now let's take a look at your Supreme Arena. And you were top 6, so you're like trying either top 20 or top 5. Top 5 is always going to be pretty competitive, even given the fact that you're ranked 4 in your own server arena, because of course in Supreme Arena you're competing with even more people than that. But let's take a look at the formations you have. You have a lot of hero options available, so it'll just come down to where you want to place everyone. So the first thing I like to look at is look at your heroes you haven't placed yet and see which are key PvP heroes and how we can incorporate them. So Vala is a key PvP hero. We definitely want to try to incorporate her into a team. And Tamesia can be good with Vala, but I wouldn't consider her as much of a priority as Vala is for this account. Okay, first thing I want to actually look at is begin looking at your replays a little bit to get an idea of which teams are winning. So your Scarlita team is probably winning a lot. This is very similar to the team that I was running on my Supreme Arena defense, a stall team with Rowan, but I've changed it out a little bit because I find Rowan is very easy to be killed by enemy Sylvenas, but maybe you have a positioning that will not allow Rowan. No, so this is the same team that I was running with the same artifact. However, I noticed that when people bring a Sylvena and just kill my Rowan right off the bat, that is how they're able to win sometimes. So I think an even better version of a team like this would be replacing Rowan for something which is not so easily killable by an enemy Sylvena. So I've changed to more of a Graveborn stall type team, but we'll see what your options are because you don't have Igor, and Igor is what I kind of replaced over there. Okay, so for this team, the Raging Duel, crowd control can work. However, you can also try to go for a mullet team with Cascade Spell on your Coco to try and get the ultimate off quickly and buy your team more time for raid stacks. Yeah, this is the problem, because when people have a more powerful crowd control team, mainly with Elsa Ulmus, they're going to destroy your less powerful crowd control team. And I understand this because this team you're running is exactly the defense I'm running. I'm running in the first defense, not in the Raging Duel one. But this is the defense I'm running, and it does get defeated by Alamis Elsa combo. So that is kind of the issue. Okay guys, now we're going to try to recreate the Supreme Arena defenses given all of the hero options he has. So I decided to remove all the heroes out, and we're gonna try to craft 3 relatively strong defenses. So for the first team, I want to have it be a Mauler oriented team. Shakir, Coco, Smokey, OD, and Brutus. And for the final slot, it can be either Vala or it could be something like Entendre. Because Vala won't have a great place in any of our other 2 teams that I'm planning to run. So I'm thinking maybe we just go for Vala in this team as well. Oh no, this team is already complete because we have the Smokey, Coco, Shakir, OD. There isn't going to be room for Vala. Now, in this team, I like to have the Cascade spell on the Coco, but I also don't want to be weak to Valas of the enemy. And I'm worried about Valas, but the problem with Vala, especially in this team like formation, is if I put Brutus here and the Vala is over there, it's going to mark the Coco. If I put Brutus here, and for example my team is like this, then the Vala is going to mark the Coco if the Vala is placed over here. So I think there's always going to be a way for the enemy to hit the Coco, and we're just going to hope that they're not going to be able to burst the Coco fast enough. And with the Cascade spell, we're going to be able to get that energy generation, or force the opponents to bring out their Vala in this team lineup. And yeah, I'm thinking we're going to position... Could even position like this. Cascade spell is still off on the Coco, is up front a little bit more. Yeah, so the whole idea is Brutus is going to be invincible, and the Shakir will hopefully be able to cast his ultimate before he dies, and then he'll protect the front line really effectively with his damage reduction. Yeah, so we can, I guess, try this positioning. Yeah, because if Odie is here, then he gets a Cascade spell, which we don't want. I'm going to try this positioning with the Mauler team. I think this is pretty good. The thing with Vala is it's kind of awkward to run Vala in these teams because having the better front line can allow you to just survive better. And Brutus and Shakira, along with the Coco ultimate, if Coco ultimate can go off, these 3 can pretty much solo an enemy team. So that's why I think this is going to be pretty strong. Now for team number 2, we're going to go for a crowd control team to try and interrupt the enemies so they can't cast their get their rage stacks. We're probably going to go for the confining spell here to also lock them down even further. Now we don't have an Alamis and we don't have Elsa, so we're not going to be able to go for that, but I'm thinking we can go for maybe a full Wilder team. We could go for Granny, Iron, Florbell, Arden, something like this. We can lock them down with the confining spell. There's no ability for the enemy to Rainier swap anything on our team. Florbell has crowd control, Arden has crowd control, and then Iron has crowd control as well. It's trying to fully lock down the enemies. And we're not able to slot in Carolina here because Carolina would be more damage. But I think Florbell for the stun would be better for locking them down. And we can run Carolina in the final team with Thorin. So I think for the final team we can run Thorin, and we can go for... Here we can go for Enlightening Spell. Thorin, we can do Carolina. Haywin as the tanky healer. Scarlita. And finally we can do... Could be Rowan here for the final option. Could also be Temesia. And I think Temesia has more tanking capability, or it could even be Vala. It could even be Vala in the final slot here. But I'm gonna try a team like this. We could even swap the Haywin for Rowan. You get a better factional synergy, but I like Haywin more in stall teams. And Temesia Soul Pacted will be pretty annoying for the enemies to deal with. The problem is enemies can jump onto our Carolina, which is a problem. She's not very well protected. So we could even opt for this sort of positioning. Then Caroline is protected by the Thorn, and you have the Temesia to interfere with the enemies and be annoying. Or we could even go get rid of Timisi and go for Vala, because this Vala is well built up. I feel like there's regret if we don't run the Vala in the team. I'm going to try a team like this. You have a 3 factional synergy because of the Celestial, so 3 Graveborn basically. Getting 10% stats off of that. If we look at the other heroes that we haven't fielded for any of the teams, the key PvP heroes could be Rowan and Timisia, but I feel like having the Vala and Carolina here as a double threat might be better. Timisia does better in this type of team comp because this is like a stall team, but having double threat in a stall team also is a viable way of letting Scarlita descend after and still keep your team alive until that point comes. Because it's going to be difficult for them to kill my the Vala we have, and Carolina is protected with this team, and she has a lightning spell, she can't be Rainier swapped. So I think you can try this team, but I could see maybe rather than Vala going for Timisia or Rowan, but I want to try and incorporate Vala into one of the teams, and it's not really fitting into the Mauler team, because if we would go for it in the Mauler team, we would have to get rid of maybe Smokey, or get rid of Brutus. But I think having the more front line would be better for your team to get some wins against people. So yeah, you can try this team and let me know how it works for you. Just thinking, yeah, I think this should be decent. Of course, if people bring a Mauler team into this, it's going to be difficult for you, but if you can lock them down for long enough, you can still stack your rage and get kills, and this team will have a lot of crowd control. It would only be better if there was like an Ulmus here rather than the Granny, and an Elsa too, but we don't have those, so I think these can be some pretty good defenses you can try. And for your non-seasonal arena defense, I think this should do really well for you, because this is the exact defense I'm running, and I get a lot of success with this. I've even, like, sometimes people, even with Paragon 4, Paragon 3 heroes, have lost into my defense a couple times, so yeah. Okay, now we're going to take a look at your hero wish list. We've already gone over your heroes, so I know I have a good idea of which heroes we want to be putting on your wish list. So, you have your stand. First, we're going to look at your epic movements. So you have a lot of heroes looking at Paragon here. Don't go for Lucius here. I know it like it's tempting because you're close to getting him to Supreme Plus, but just gradually get him from Dream Realm Store, even if you want to. Keep your S level heroes on this wish list. So we're going to look at Paragons and Paragons of key heroes. Here I want Elsa. Elsa is a key hero. She's not even Supreme Plus yet, so that is the overall #1 priority on your account. And Brutus and Cassidy I would not put here. I know you mentioned that you want to have them here, so because they're really close to Supreme Plus, but you can buy them from the arena shop, and it is a guarantee. You just need to save up 9,800, I think, coins, and you will be able to buy it. So buy them both from the arena shop and get them maxed out that way, and in the meantime work on other key heroes to Paragon. If you're not interested in Reese, that's fine, you don't have to go for Reese, but for the other key heroes for Paragon, I'm gonna have to take a look at how many copies you currently have of everything, and then base it off of that for your standard. Okay, so we'll take a look at the copies you have of all the heroes. So you have 3 Carolina, 2 Iron. So we're going to go for Iron and Carolina to Paragon, for sure. And Carolina is a good PvP hero, even though I feel like Elsa is better in the crowd control team now. Carolina has places like in that Stroll team with Doran, so in a Graveborn team, and also can be good in a crowd control team. So we are going to put Carolina onto the wish list here. Now for the final one is either Vala or Floribel or Shakir. And I would honestly say Shakir. I feel like Shakir is kind of a really strong PvP hero, and I never really don't use Shakir on one of my defenses, but sometimes I don't use Floribel or Vala. So I'm going to put Shakir in here and get the other ones from the arena shop. And now for the wish list, we are going to alter this as well. So for the Maulers, definitely you need to have Elsa here, and don't go for Smokey to Paragon. So Paragon is for heroes which want PvP upgrades, and Smokey is not a key PvP hero. So you definitely want to have Elsa here instead. Okay, I'll let you have Brutus here until he's maxed, but really I would put like something like Shakira again for Paragon copies, and Cassidy as well, I'll let you have it here, and Vala you're going for Paragon copies, that is fine, and that is a good option. Okay, here you're looking for more Supreme Pluses. Honestly though, you will not need to get Mariel to Supreme Plus. You're gonna have enough Supreme Pluses without her, so I would go back to your Dream Realm damage dealers and just get them to Paragon. Although that being said, it hardly matters for non-PvP modes, so you can get Mariel to Supreme Plus or Mythic Plus, but Mariel also doesn't really have any uses, but I'll leave this here for right now. Good. Odie to Paragon, Kruger to Supreme Plus, good. Because he's a key Dream Realm hero. Over here, we're going to have Floribel here. You can buy Haywin from the arena shop, so you should not have her on your wish list. And then we have Dorian and Carolina. Keep both of these on your wish list. And yeah, because we're looking for Paragon on both of them. And yeah, you can keep going Paragon on these two. The other two heroes are not too key. You need to put Almas here. Almas is a key hero. I guess you're doing Prissa for battle drills. But you can do something like this until you have the max. And don't put Arden here over Damien. Damien is the #1 Wilder A-level hero. And then I honestly think, well, then Arden is #2. And then, but Almas is like same tier as Arden. And if you don't have Almas built up yet, Almas becomes a top priority. So I think this is how I would restructure the wish list for you. This should be good. Prissa is here for battle drills, but you don't need her for your Paragon unlock. You're already really close to your Paragon unlock. You just need 3 more heroes with Supreme Plus, which will be Cassidy, Brutus, and Lucius. So, yeah, buy Lucius from the Dream Realm store if you are in a rush to get that, and that is fine. And from the Arena store, I'm going to show you. Yeah, everyone buys the Stellar Crystals. Honestly, though, it is not as worth it to buy S-level heroes. Is more worth it if you are missing Supreme Plus upgrades especially, and if you're looking for Paragon upgrades, which you're kind of always doing. So from this shop, you can get Haywin. You just need 6 copies of Haywin, you get it to Paragon. 6 copies of Granny, you'll get it to Paragon. And 2 more copies of Brutus, and 2 more copies of Cassidy, and then you will get those 2 to Supreme Plus. And honestly, I would just buy them both right now, get them to Supreme Plus. Or you can leave it, you can buy the Haywin. Buy the Haywin and buy the Granny. Yeah, that's what you did so far. Buy Haywin and Granny for this month before it resets, because these are the ones you're going to want to get to Paragon the quickest. These are the most vital PvP heroes that want that Paragon upgrade. So buy Granny and Haywin from the shop here. Also, eventually get Igor, Cassidy, Brutus all to Supreme Plus, but prioritize Brutus and Cassidy to Supreme Plus so that you can get your Paragon unlock. And that is going to be it for Dream Realm Store. Get Lucius until he is Supreme Plus, which you're doing. Okay, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you want me to review your account, you can message me on Discord or email me. And let me know what your thoughts are about all the decisions and advice we gave in this review. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until the next video, everyone, peace out for now.